Hello and welcome to our monthly update on what people are watching in the UK. In July, total identified viewing dropped to an average of 215 minutes daily. This was down 1% on last month and 4% compared to July 2025. This month's What People Watch considers the World Cup, including a look at a pre and post study run by Barb to understand out-of-home viewing. While football stubbornly refuses to come home for the England men's team, viewing remains strong. Reach for England's defeat by Argentina in the semi-final was 26.3 million in homes across the UK. The last part of that sentence often attracts questions at times like this, because Barb does not measure TV set viewing in public places like pubs. And we know that lots of people watch big football tournaments in pubs. Our study allowed us to compare intentions with actions. While the England team's plans fell short, people's plans largely came to pass. The proportions of viewers who said that they would watch away from home were very close before and after the tournament, as we can see here. We also asked about the location that people thought they would watch. Of those that said they planned to watch away from home, the pub was the most popular location. It remained the most popular location when asked about what actually happened, but fewer people made it there than expected. Other locations were more stable, with small increases in viewing at someone else's home, work, hotels, or while travelling. To give some context with Barb viewing data, we can already see that at-home audiences for an international competition dwarf that for domestic football. Last season, the biggest audience for a Premier League game was 3 million for Liverpool versus Arsenal on August 31st, 2025. That was on Sky Sports main event and Premier League. During the World Cup, 3.4 million watched Qatar draw 1-1 with Switzerland on ITV1. With all due respect, these are not two great teams, but they did have a reasonable kick-off time for their group match on June 13th this year. Our study reflects these higher figures. 21% reported watching World Cup games away from home regularly, while that figure is only 12% for domestic matches. One of the last things we asked about were plans to follow the World Cup away from actual match coverage on the BBC and ITV. The chart here shows that TV company presence on YouTube and TikTok was popular. In fact, if we combine viewing of ITV and BBC content on YouTube and TikTok, we see that 36% used at least one of these to follow the World Cup at some point. We can also see here that 7% of adults in this study reported that they watched Gary Lineker's podcast, The Rest is Football, on Netflix during the World Cup. Barb data showed that just 2.2% of adults 16 plus, or 1.2 million, were reached by the programme. This is based on the industry standard definition of reach, 3 minutes of continuous viewing. If we lower this to its minimum of 1 minute of discontinuous viewing from any episode, we see reach of 5.6 million, or 10%. Episode audiences averaged just over 100,000 on TV sets, with a high of 174,000 for the episode after the England-Norway game. With 2 more seasons covering the Premier League to come, it will be interesting to see how audiences build from this base. Finally, we asked respondents if they were aware that FIFA were allowing broadcasters to make the first 10 minutes of matches available live via YouTube. In our pre-wave, awareness was at 19%, with intent to use at 28%. After the World Cup, awareness was higher at 22%, with claimed use at 19%. Barb data did not show an appreciable increase in at-home YouTube viewing during the tournament. So if viewers did make use of this offering, their YouTube viewing appears to have replaced existing viewing rather than being additive. In 2 years' time, football will come home. The Euros in 2028 will take place across the UK and Ireland that year. Barb will be ready to understand how people follow the tournament. Perhaps the optimism of the 36% that predicted an England win, or the 26% of Scots who predicted a Scotland win, will even be justified.